And just finding your feet, bend your knees tracking over second toe. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Whenever you're feeling ungrounded, disconnected, all in your head, not in your body, it's a very quick way to re-embody just by feeling the feet. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And as you're doing this, notice if you're weighting on one foot more than the other. And throughout the class, this might start to change. So I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, if I'm not weighting on my left foot, I usually have pain in that hip as well that day. Today I'm really good because I had the opportunity to practice for about 2 hours yesterday. So my hips are super happy today. And I was remembering yesterday how lucky I am to have this practice, because according to doctors, I should be in pain all the time, and I'm not. So it's really quite a gift. And I hope that for all of you, that knowledge to be able to look after yourself. And just adding some arms, you might want to start low. Inhale, opening up, thumbs back if that's comfortable for your shoulders. Exhale, hands to the belly button, bend the knees, and release the neck and shoulders if that works for you. For those of you with RA, I've learned recently from my physio friend, anatomy teacher in our program, that looking up like this is probably not such a great idea for you. So just keeping the head more neutral when you're extending rather than bringing the head back. And we can talk about that later if you want more information. Inhale, opening, and some of you might feel good extending a bit more, looking slightly up, but chin still tucked in, so you're not hanging the head back. Exhale, release. Bringing the arms a little higher now. Exhale. Bringing the breath in, inhale. Just keep working with the arms at any height that feels good. Exhale. When you bring your hands to your body, you might start bringing them a little higher each time. Just notice where you get the maximum amount of comfort yet strength, which is the balance we want in yoga. Sthiram, strength, and sukham, softness. I'm going to add the humming sound, Brahmari. Inhale, expanding. Do this in your own timing, please. It doesn't have to be with me. Exhale, humming. Notice when you add sound, probably your exhale lengthens about double. That om if you like, or you can just keep going with the humming or the hawing. Do this in your own time. And just finishing up. Hands at the heart in Namaste position, or if you like, you can Have your palms at your heart, or you can cross your arms. Bow the head to the heart. And make your intention your sankalpa. And it might be linked to something to do with emotional freedom. And it could be something like, may I be free from A, fill in the blank, and may I be filled with B. So there's this idea in the Yoga Sutras that, and in Ayurveda, that the antidote, Pratipaksha Bhavanam, the antidote, the opposite, sometimes can be part of our healing, focusing on the opposite. Any language that works for you. And when you're ready, I'm going to move into our Tadasana, full Tadasana with coming up on the toes. If you like, you can put that belt on the ankles as we've worked on the last couple of weeks. And that's particularly good if in the check-in with your body, you notice one hip is not firing as well as the other. You put that belt on the ankles just to help the stronger side, help the weaker side. And in the hands, you might notice for me, my right arm is helping my left one get a little taller because my left side is my more compromised side and my scoliosis. So you can play with that even if you don't have scoliosis. Most of us have one side that's a little different than the other. So just do that little stretch at the end. And if you have a shoulder injury, just not bringing your arms this high, you can just bring them to your place, for example, like that. Or you can do this arm movement, might feel better. It's a little harder with a balance though, doing that, as you just saw. Doing around 6 of those, pausing between inhale and exhale. Inhaling into the chest and the lower belly as you inhale, exhale, belly draws in, chest falls. Inhale top to bottom, exhale bottom to top. It's also very strengthening for the hips, the legs, the ankles. And staying here if you can. Another modification for Tadasana is putting a pillow or a block between the thighs. So we're going to go into a side version of this. And if you want to add that, you can. So just add a cushion or a block, and you'll notice how it helps your thighs hug in. So sometimes I do this and the belt on the ankles, and theoretically you could have a belt on the thighs too, but it gets a bit much, to create that stiram, that strength. So we're going to do some side bends, and you could come up onto the toes and then go into it. That's quite a bit of work, but I will show it in case you want to try. And then you come down, and we're going to stay here a breath. Inhale, extend. This is getting into the side body. And for those of you with tightness in the side of the hip, hopefully you're feeling that right now as well. So stick your hip out so you get more into the hip aspect. Inhale, center. And if you like, you can come up on the toes. It's a little challenging. Exhale, side, sticking the hip out. You could stay here, up, or come down. I usually come down so I can get more into my hip. And inhale, center. We're going to do that again. Just keep going side to side, and you might start staying one extra breath per side if you like. Focusing the mind on the hip. If you do have tightness in your side body, you can also bring your mind there into the ribs. You can modify the arms by folding the arms, hands on top of the head, or you could just have the arms down or extend just one arm. It's another possibility. I'll just show this as inhale, center. Coming up on the toes is optional. Exhale, to bring that lower arm down and just breathe there. If you want to make it harder, you can extend and hold the wrist. Get a deeper stretch. Try to de-rotate. So often you'll be like this. Try to bring the shoulders in alignment if it doesn't hurt your back. And just finishing up. So again, anything I'm showing, please feel free to modify for you. Just staying here with this cushion or block, squeezing in. Feel what that feels like. Inhale, release. Exhale, I want you to squeeze into the center as you draw the belly button in, as well as the pelvic floor. And feel all the way down the legs into the feet. So we're going to work with that Apana Vayu, moving from the belly button down, that energetic exhale. Belly button in, lower belly, pelvic floor. Squeeze the block or pillow, feel the feet. Inhale, release. Let's do it again. Exhale, belly button in, lower belly, pelvic floor. Squeeze the thighs. Feel the feet. Hold. 1, 2, 3. That's the whole mula line, the root line. Inhale. So these are our roots in our body energetically. Exhale. Belly button in, lower belly, pelvic floor. Squeeze the block. Feel the feet. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Last time. Inhale. Feel how strengthening that is for the inner thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Belly button in, lower belly, pelvic floor. Squeeze the block. Feel the feet. Keep squeezing, hold. 1, 2, 3, release. And notice how you feel. Your legs are probably awake now, and you're likely feeling your feet. That's a very simple exercise I just did. It's very grounding for the nervous system, as well as activating for the legs and feet, the hips, inner thighs in particular. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of hip balancing work. So we did something like this a couple of weeks ago, but we're gonna add on. So yeah, I think I'll stay on my mat actually. So inhale, the arms coming up. Exhale, bring one leg up. So you might want to just start with your easy side, whatever feels easy. Inhale, opening up the hip. Oops. Exhale, closing. Inhale, extend that leg back and bring the arms up to your place. Exhale, starting position. And bend the knees, release neck and shoulders. Inhale, arms coming up, chin in, Jalandhara Bandha. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Inhale, upper chest, lower chest, full belly. Start to exhale, then start to move. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, starting position, release, bend the knees, feel the feet. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So when you do this exhale at the center, you should really feel your core engaging, pelvic floor up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And rest. Feel your feet. Okay, so we're going to keep going.
Somebody's
We're all good. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. So, okay, so yeah, just making sure you're all muted. Okay, we're good. You're all muted. Thank you. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, bring one leg forward, hands down by your sides. If you like, you can point your toes. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, other side. If this is too much, do it with a bent knee. Inhale. Just do this a few more times so the leg can be straight or slightly bent. So it's very strengthening for the hips, the legs, the feet. And gets us to wade into one side that might be a little bit weaker than the other. Often when we walk, we favor our strong side. So this helps us just get more into that samana, that balance, that samastiti, even standing. Really the focus of yoga practices is trying to bring us to balance, sattva, ananta, harmony, upeksha, equanimity, in our minds and our bodies, and our breath, of course, the physiological representation of the state of those. And then from that place of balance, we start to experience something deeper still called kaivalyam, freedom. You know you're getting there when you start feeling more peaceful, more joyful, more present, without effort. Inhale, arms to the sides. Exhale, one leg to the side, knee facing forward, hands to your sides, and keep your torso up rather than going to the side. Inhale, center again. Please adjust the arms for those of you with injuries in the arms. Just strengthening the hips, the outer hip, the inner hip. Exhale down, inhale up. Starting to exhale before you start to move, still moving at the end of the exhale. Here, let me say that again. So the breath is longer than the movements. The breath starts and finishes the movement. So you start to exhale, then you're moving and you're still exhaling at the end of the movement there. That's right. Pause, inhale. Still inhaling at the end of the movement, pause. Start to exhale, then start to move. Still exhaling at the end of the movement, pause. And one last time. Now we're going to take it back. Inhale, arms coming up. And exhale, one leg back, your hands by your sides. And just tipping to where you can. Notice if one side is different than the other, and notice if that translates into your lower back or your hip. Good going. One more round. Get tired, just rest in samsthiti, feet together. This is also working with core strength, a lot moving away from your center, your core, your whole core from the pelvic floor up the spine has to work to stabilize you. So your hips are working hard, keep you stable and taking a rest. When you're ready, notice where your weight is on your feet. Is it front? Is it back? And we're just going to work with that a bit more with some half squats. Utkatasana, Ardha Utkatasana. Inhale, arms to the sides. And we're going to exhale, we're going to bend the knees, and it's going to be like you're hugging a tree. And feel your feet, feel your legs. You could put a block between your thighs if you wanted, or actually I find a belt on the thighs works really well for this, pressing out. Exhale, or nothing like I'm showing. Really feel where your weight is on your feet. Try to get it even and just keep doing this. So we're making this more of a forward bend than a back bend. So it's a bit more like full Utkatasana, more of a forward bend pose rather than a back arch inhale. Maybe go a little lower each time. And just finishing up. Samastiti, how do you feel? Notice where your weight is on your feet. more on your right foot, more on your left, more front or more back. You can shift your weight in that circle. Feel where you are on your center. So moving on, we're going to do some lunges. You can do this in an easier way or harder. Feet together or hip width apart. Start with the hip width apart today. Find your samastiti. You should be around in the center of your mat if you're working with mat. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, bring one leg back and bend the knee to where you can. Inhale, center. I'm just showing it very simply first. Exhale, bring that foot forward and bend that back knee to where you can as you release neck and shoulders. Inhale, center. Now, if you want to do it more challengingly, you can bend the back knee all the way down. This is a lot of work. I'm just working with one leg moving front and back. So this is stretch and strength. Stretching the thigh, the hip flexor. You might be feeling some knee pain. If you do, just don't go down very much. You can go down just to here, for example. If this is still too much, you could just use a wall and just go side to side to where you can, okay? So feel free to adapt this. We're going to work with the other side. This can be a bit challenging, this one. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, bring your other foot forward. Bend that back knee a little bit or a lot. Just test it. Exhale, bringing the foot back. And just working with that one foot moving forward, back, bend back knee to the amount that you can. Doing around 6 rounds and finishing up. You might be a little out of breath after that one. Just take a little rest. Let your breath slow down. Okay, so we're going to do a forward bend that works on one hip at a time. So I'm going to cross my right foot behind my left, but feel free to do the opposite. Start with your easy side. Do this facing you a bit better. Inhale, arms coming up. This is hurting your knee, one of your knees. Please adjust the cross or don't do it. Just have your feet parallel. Exhale forward to your place. Now, if it doesn't work for you to come all the way down, you could use a chair or a balcony. And if your arms coming forward doesn't work for you, on that inhale, bring them to the sides. So the sides looks like this. And you could do something like this to make it a little simpler and Inhale. Just keep this going. Find what arms work for you. Inhale up, exhale down. Feel that stretch in the side of the hip of the foot that's back. And if you're feeling very comfortable, you could stay in your forward bend. And just add a stitty. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, forward. And go deeper into that stretch still. You could be using blocks. You could be using a chair or a table, a stool. Put your hands on. Just getting it into that side of the hip place. One of you said you wanted to work on today. When you're ready, gradually coming up with your hands sliding up your legs, finding your samastiti for a minute. Feel your feet. It might be quite a change. If you've got one foot different than the other, it might be starting to feel quite different. Switching sides. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, forward. Hands front or sides, or no arms at all. You can just slide them down your legs. Inhale, coming up. Arms front, side, or no arms, just sliding up your legs, your choice. I realize I didn't switch legs, so I'm going to make sure I switch. If you haven't, please do switch. It's funny how the body sometimes doesn't want to go into our hard side. Feeling that stretch on the outside of the hip of the foot that's back. It's comfortable just staying in the forward bend, and inhale, arch the back up a little bit. Exhale, forward. Again, you could have your hands on blocks. I'm using my fingertips as a prop. My fingers giving me a little bit of extra length here. Make sure your knees are not hurting. If they are, adjust across the floor. Just go into parallel feet. And if you could just all make sure you mute it. Somebody. Just coming out of the pose. Just resting in your samastiti. Making sure you're all okay. Okay, so we're going to do one more standing pose and then we're going to take it down. This one is strength and stretch. I'm just going to adjust my mat. Otherwise, I think I'd rather it be like this. So I can see you all a bit better. Okay. So, just your legs wide apart. So already that might be quite a stretch for your inner thighs. Restorative Uttanasana, and we're going to do a variation of this, which works on the hips a bit, going from one side to the other. So this one I just learned in Chennai, my last trip. Inhale, the arms coming up, and I've added a bit of a yogified physiotherapy piece. Exhale, come towards one side. So I'm starting going towards my left. And then start coming down. And if you like, keep the legs straight, or you can bend the knee. Bending the knee has the advantage of making you wade into that side a bit more. So I'm going to do it that way. Inhale, arms in line with my ears or arms to the side and coming up and straightening both legs. I'm now center. Exhale, and then start to twist to the other side and coming down. Again, that leg can be straight, which is more of a stretch for that leg and hip. Or if you want to work on changing the weighting of your hip for pelvic and bounces, you could bend the knee and then you get more of a groin stretch on the opposite side. Inhale, coming up, keeping side and then center. And then exhale, let's go center. This is the classical pose now. Center, the legs can be straight, or you could bend both knees and feel the hips and the feet a bit more. Inhale, arms front in line with your ears or sides or up your legs. You're going to do that again. Twist as you start to exhale, coming down. Other side. And center. Just keep this going side to side. This is very much strength and stretch. One more round like this. Again, just make sure you're muted. I can hear somebody. Just keep that going one more round. I'm just going to check if you're all muted. Okay, so we're going to add on. So you're going to inhale center. Exhale, twisting to one side, bend the knee. Now we're going to make it a little harder. Inhale, you're going to come to the center, your arms at the sides, palms facing down. Exhale, twisting to the other side and coming down. Inhale, center, straightening the legs if you can. Exhale, coming to the opposite side. If you want to make this harder, inhale, extend your arms in line with your ears. That's much harder. So easier, no arms. You can have your hands on your legs, for example, or arms sides. Harder, arms in a Y position or in line with your ears overhead. Really bend that knee so you're going side to side. I always feel like I'm speed skating when I do this. And when you're ready, ready, just come to your forward bend and stay here. Your knees can be bent or they can be straight. You can move, you can inhale, lift your chest, exhale, forward bend the knees, or just stay stable, rather. You can also play, if you want to add the upper back, with your hands forward in line with your ears, and inhale, arching up, looking up. Again, if you have RA, you might want to avoid that looking up part, and exhale, down, bend the knees if you like. Feel the hips work. This one's very good if you've got that kyphosis, that rounding in the upper back. And when you're ready, just coming to the center. If you are comfortable twisting to one side, bring your knee down and come back into child's pose. And if it's comfortable, you can sit in Vajrasana for a minute and stretch the front of the thighs. If that doesn't work, just stay in child's pose or lie on your back and bring your knees to chest. I'm just going to angle my camera down a bit for these supine poses. So we're moving to the ground now. And just getting my props ready. It's not too hot here today in Garden Bay, so I think we'll be fine temperature-wise with the computer. Starting with bent knees, you can put that cushion between your legs. And we're just going to strengthen the inner thighs a little bit. Exhale, you're going to squeeze the pillow, cushion, block, bolster also works well for this one. Inhale, release. And we're going to work with the breath. And we're going to also work with pelvic tilting the hips. So as you exhale, I want you to bring your lower back into the floor. Squeeze the block, feel the feet. As you inhale, I want you to create a little space underneath your lower back as you tip your pelvis forward, your hips forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone underneath, get rid of that space between you and the floor. So you tuck the tail under, inhale, moving the hips the other direction. Now we're going to take this up a notch. Exhale. Inhale. So I'm going to cue the breath for this. Exhale. Belly button, lower belly, belly button in, pelvic floor. Squeeze the pillow, feel the feet. Inhale. Expand the belly, expand the chest. Feel that space under the lower back. Exhale. Belly button in, lower belly. pelvic floor. Squeeze the pillow, feel the feet, hold, 1, 2. Inhale, other way, expand the belly, expand the chest. Last time, exhale, belly button in, lower belly, pelvic floor, squeeze the pillow, feel the feet, tuck the tail under, squeeze, hold, 1, 2, 3, inhale, release. Okay, we're going to keep this going. You can leave that pillow if you like. I'm going to do that, I think. And I'm going to bring my left foot forward. And this is going to focus on stretching my left leg a little bit more. My left hip, rather. Inhale, lifting the hips up. And the right knee, thigh is going to have to work a little harder. And exhale, rolling down. You can do this without the pillow. Another way I really like to do this, you can just keep going, is you can put a belt on the thighs. I think actually I'm going to do that version. This can help you get a little bit more height. So decide which one feels better for you today, according to your hips. Hopefully this will let you see what I'm doing better also. So as I come up, I'm actually pressing into that belt and I'm getting quite a bit of opening in my hips. So it's moving out versus in. And exhale. Or you could hug a block bolster between the legs as you do this. Keep bringing that left foot a little further out. The further you have it out, the harder it is. And you could even try having the heel out. I personally am not a big fan of that version, but you can try that if you like. I like being able to press into my foot a bit. You can try the other side. That one's really good if you've got compression in your hip. Can be good. Other side. So the foot can be just a little bit away from the other one, forward, or a lot. Do that gradually. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, coming down. Just notice if there's some shifting of your hips side to side as you move up and down. That can denote some instability in the pelvis. So just try to keep it as balanced as possible, feeling both feet on the ground as you do this, pressing into the ground. Really focusing on the feet and legs right now. Let the breath just do its thing. Might want to keep bringing that foot this forward a little bit more forward. See if you can get a little bit more stretch into it. And just finishing off. Just bring your feet wide. Pull your knees in and just rest for a minute. Back rest. When you're ready, removing a belt, or if you used a block, remove that. And I'm just going to do windshield wipers as a counter to the Dvipadipedam bridge. Inhale, center. Exhale, bringing your knees to one side. And if you have tightness in your thighs and the outside of the hips, the piriformis, IT band, etc., you might be starting to feel those areas a bit more now. This is also just a nice way to relax the back after doing bridge pose. And then just a variation. Keep your knees facing up as you exhale. Just bring one knee down towards your opposite arch of your foot. Inhale, center, both knees facing up. Exhale, the other knee coming down. One knee is up towards the sky and the other is coming down towards the arch of the foot. This is getting into the thigh, the groin, the psoas rather. And the more you can bring it down towards that big toe, the more stretch you'll get in the thigh. And just take a break. Ankle the knees in. Rest. We're going to keep going with these twists before we start opening the hips the other direction. So I'm going to get you to bring your feet together, your heels aligned with your knees. Have your pillow, bolster. If you have a bolster or a thick pillow, this might be good for you. We'll just see how much propping you need. You might need to grab some more pillows. I'm just going to warn you. So you're going to shift your hips. I'm going to shift my hips to the left. You want to do this with me so you're not off kilter. There's a lot of cueing here of direction. So shift the hips to the left a little bit, and then bring your whole body into fetal position on your right. And you might want to have a folded blanket under the head or another pillow. And some people need quite a bit of padding under their body for this. You can do this in your bed if you like. If you need more padding, feel free to run to your bed and just put the audio on, and I don't need to see you. So you can always do that if you're having a lot of discomfort on this lower shoulder. The advantage of being at home, you've got beds nearby. So, or be on a carpet. So if you can you extend that lower leg? And I'm going to start by putting a pillow underneath that left leg that's crossing over. This is for hips and lower back. So we're starting to move into lower back a little bit as well with this. And then I'm just going to open to where I can, opening up that left side. If I can't get all the way down, you can put a pillow under that left shoulder or a blanket. And you can also put a higher prop on this side, so like a bolster. And you can see that I'm just using my hand to demo that my hip can come my hip and shoulder can come down a bit more. So if you can, just find your place. If this is too much, keep your knees together. This. Or do the earlier pose, just the windshield wiper, and stay on one side. It's another great variation. So just breathing here, stretching the lower back into the hip. And some of you with tightness in your upper back, you'll feel quite a bit of stretch in the upper back as well. Just breathing here. Every time you exhale, focus on pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. And you can even add a hold after exhale, drawing everything in and up. This is a great pose for constipation and a general tonic for the digestive system. But in particular, very good for constipation. This also is good for constipation of the emotional body. So if you're feeling a bit stuck, this might help you let go of something you're holding on to in that second chakra area, pubic area, the area of creativity, transformation, emotions, feeling our emotions in our gut. And when you're ready, we're going to gradually come out of this and move to the other side. So going through the center, just very gradually walking out of it. Notice how you feel in your lower back and hips, upper back. Feeling maybe a bit too much, like you went too far, just add more propping, bring the floor up to you with the use of pillows, bolsters, etc. So you're in the center now. I want you to bring the feet together and bring your hips over to the right side and then come into fetal position on your left shoulder. Extend that lower leg and have the upper bent knee. So it's my right leg on top, right knee bent. I'm putting a cushion under it or bolster. I'm opening my chest so that my chest is facing to the sky. That right shoulder is not coming down enough for your comfort. You can put a blanket under it, a pillow. Put your left hand on top of that right thigh. Get a bit deeper in there. Notice where you're feeling this. Are you feeling it through the lower back into the right hip? Are you feeling it in the upper back, the right shoulder, maybe both of those places? Breathing here. That lower leg can be bent if that feels better. It's a little easier, or you can straighten it. Working with the breath. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Draw the bandhas, the locks in and up from the pelvic floor up. Hold after exhale. Inhale, expand the chest and belly. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Draw everything in and up. Hold after exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Expand the chest, expand the belly. Just going your own timing. Doing these kramas, these steps with the breath, each part of the breath for about 1, 2 seconds. Last time. And when you're ready, just gradually walking your legs, feet back to the center, your pelvis, hips back to the center, just moving very slowly out of that quite intense stretch. Taking your happy baby and hold underneath the thighs, interlock fingers, or just hold the thighs. Take it further, hold the ankles or the calves. Keep the lower back on the ground. And if you want to take it further, hold the little toe side of the feet. If you would like a groin stretch, bring your legs to the sides, hold your thighs. Keep your legs open. You could do this with your legs at a wall. It's a nice way to do it. Keep your knees facing forward, not turned out. And if you take it further, you can take your peace fingers, put them between your big toe, your second toe. Breathe here, keep your lower back on the ground. You could also just stay in happy baby for this. If you want to take it further, you can try bringing your legs together. On exhale, inhale, open. So you could do that holding your calves, for example, or your thighs. You don't have to be holding your toes. Further still, the outsides of the feet. Careful not to overdo it. Hold in a place that's working about 80% of your ability, finding your edge between strength and softness. And you'll know you've reached that edge if you're feeling present, feeling like you're doing too much. If you have the thought, I'm going to pay for this later, please back off. If you have the thought, oh, I could do a little bit more, try to go a little bit further. Watch the breath. Is it long and smooth? That's biofeedback from the nervous system telling us that we're in that right place between softness and strength. Siddham and sukham, strength and softness. When you're ready, moving into your shavasana, relaxation. Before you do that, just hug your knees to your chest and asana if that works for you, or rest with your feet down and knees angled in or on top of your ankles. Rest. Moving into shavasana. Like putting your cushion under your thighs. Keep lying there. I'm going to guide you through meditation. This meditation is based on Yoga Sutra, chapter 133, which says, be friendly, or develop, cultivate loving kindness, Maitri, towards your friends, compassion, karuna, passion, towards those going through difficult times. Appreciation, gratitude, mudita, towards those doing amazing things in the world. And upeksha, equanimity, towards those who are doing unvirtuous things in the world. Said if we master these qualities, experience the chitta prasadanam, the gift of the mind, the relaxed mind. Which looks a lot like freedom. The Buddhists say if we master these qualities, we will attain enlightenment. Chant these for you in Sanskrit and English. If you like, you can bring someone to mind for each of these qualities. Think of a friend first. Bring your friend to mind. I'm just going to chant the sutra, part of the sutra. Maitri, karuna, mudita, upeksha, loving someone you have compassion for, someone going through a difficult time. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, loving, compassionate, grateful, grounded. Think of someone you deeply appreciate in the world, whom you have much gratitude. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, loving, compassionate, grateful, grounded. Think of someone who rubs you the wrong way, triggers you, someone for whom you don't respect their actions. Perhaps you think they're unvirtuous in their actions. Bring them to mind. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, loving, compassionate, grateful, grounded. Now bring yourself, all these qualities, giving them to yourself. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, loving, compassionate, grateful, grounded. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, loving, compassionate, grateful. Starting to increase the length of your breath. Starting to move your hands and feet. When you're ready, coming to a seated position to close. May everyone everywhere be happy. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. May we have peace in our thoughts, words, actions, body, speech, minds. May this peace protect us from our own negativity, the negativity of others, and any negativity in our environment. Hari Om, may all obstacles be removed from that conscious link between us all. Namaste. Thank you.